did it.
I hit record. We're recording.
Welcome to That's the Thing Accent Core, episode 0.97. Happy November the 2nd, everybody. Halloween just passed, but the real scary day's tomorrow.
Post-Halloween.
It's election day.
You know, this is either going to be really spooky or really, sort of spooky.
Yeah, so the Dark Crystal.
Okay, yeah, so we were talking about the Dark Crystal before you showed up, Nolan. We were in our pre-podcast banter, and about, because Drew was making Skeksis noises, going like...
Yeah, I like the Chamberlain.
Yeah, he's great. I like that. But we were talking about how Netflix made a show about it, and I was saying that I don't think the Dark Crystal feels like I want more of it. It was kind of self-contained. I mean that because when you're going in there, and I was thinking what if you made Labyrinth the series? Do you want more Labyrinth?
Okay, I would take Labyrinth the series if it was an animated cartoon that was just her still going through the labyrinth.
No, it has to be it has to be the same rules as the Dark Crystal one, where it has to be roughly the same thing, like the same style of show. But you're not going to have same actors due to deaths and whatever.
No, I want Beetlejuice the cartoon for Labyrinth. I want Jareth and whatever her name is are going on adventures in the Labyrinth world. They're friends now.
Okay. No, you're making it good. What else was I going to say? I don't know. The Princess Bride TV show. You know that's going to happen.
Reimagining?
Oh yeah, they're going to reboot it, and then Netflix is going to reboot the series about it.
Okay, so did you know there's a TV show out now about the nurse from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
Yeah.
'Cause why?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That doesn't matter. That's one of those prequels where the prequel doesn't matter.
Yep.
I already. That's not the point. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. Nolan, how's COVID treating you?
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, Nolan, if you can hear, just speak up, because sometimes that can happen. I know how that is. Just interrupt. I'm gonna type it into the chat. You're hearing things. Okay, there we go. I mean, Nolan interrupts us, not vice versa.
Sorry. Hold on.
Okay, no, that's fine. I just want to make sure. Okay. What I'm trying to go is that I already talked about the thing where I started speaking whatever I type when I'm on a phone, like a voice call, as a joke, and now I can't stop doing it.
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
I don't think you talked about it on the podcast.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the story. Is that in Wild Days, I would always do that on Ventrilo because I thought it was really funny, and now it's no. If I'm typing something and I'm on a call, I will always say it. If I'm not no voice connection, well, I can just type. I can type silently, but I'll be I need to type what I am speaking and other things.
The void has looked back through you, Kevin.
Yeah. Voids are cool.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, no, that's fine. It's just... Alright, so Nolan, what's your opinion on 80s children's movie reboot slash TV show versions of them? 90s is okay too. What was that 90s movie where the kid got the bio-organic like alien suit?
And he couldn't pee because it came out of the chest?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I always confused that movie for Steel.
Was it like Space Kid or something?
That sounds right.
Star Kid? I'm looking this up.
Star Kid sounds.
Star Kid, is that the movie? Because it was really weird. Because like the mask would go inside and talk to. It was Star Kid.
Yeah.
Oh, that robot suit looks way worse than I thought.
No, I remember it looking bad.
Oh, it's way worse than I could have ever imagined. Oh, why does it look so bad?
Why does it have lips, though?
Oh, it's really nasty. Like, I think mentally, my brain just auto-corrected and I put the Guyver's face on that thing. I'm like, yeah.
Why does the kid look like Hogarth from Iron Giant?
The Guyver Dark Hero. Or, yeah, the Guyver. See, that's how you do a cool organic mask. Actually, did you ever see the live action Guyver?
With Mark Hamill?
Yeah, and they made 2 of them.
No, I didn't.
The movie's kind of lame, but the costuming is on point. Like, the suit they made for live action Guyver looks like Guyver and does all the Guyver things you want it to do. Like, it does like the steam coming out the mouth, and it has like the elbow blades, and it gives you like the Giga Breaker or whatever. It rips open its own chest and shoots the lasers. But it's really stupid otherwise. It's not, at least the first one. I think the second one was they tried to make it more serious. But Guyver's cool. They're the Zoanoids.
When can we get the American version of that?
No, that was Star Kid. Star Kid was American Guyver.
Wait, really?
Well, kind of, because so if the Guyver's about like a child getting a teen getting a bio-organic super suit and having to fight and deal with it, and Star Kid was about a tween getting a bio-organic alien suit and having to fight aliens, but it kind of looked really lame. And oh man, that it's just because it kind of has like the pectoral muscles of the Guyver. I'm just looking at the Star Kid suit. Man. Oh God, I can't. I'm just trying to. I don't know. Did I see that movie in the theaters or did I rent it?
It was a Blockbuster mainstay for sure.
Like, I know I rented it. I know this was. I remember watching this movie. Oh man. All right, Netflix, it's time for you to make Star Kid the series. Please redesign Star Kid. Or the suit. Man. I'm glad we talked about Star Kid. Apparently, it only made 7. Oh, it was a flop.
Good.
Its budget was 12 million, and it only made 7 million. Ooh. Oh no. All right. I think we could. I think we could fix Star Kid. I think I could fix it. I think honestly, all you'd have to do to really improve that movie is make the robot suit look cool. Don't give it like a weird face. Apparently, the title was The Warrior of Waverly Street.
Sure.
That just makes me think of the Wizards of Waverly Place. Man, I didn't watch that. That was past my time. That show I'd only see on ads whenever I was watching real good cartoons like Get Ed and Dragon Booster. Did you see that new Disney mobile game tennis thing? Did anyone see that?
Sorry, I've fallen down the rabbit hole of looking at a Sinbad movie called Shazam.
I think I saw Shazam. Or was that the Shaq one?
So yeah, there's a Shaq Genie movie called Kazam.
I think I saw Kazam.
There is no such movie called Shazam starring Sinbad.
Okay. Because I saw Kazam.
Yeah, it's Star Kid, Kazam, and Shaq and Steel all occupy the same brain space to me.
That's of that kind of... It's that mid-90s where they made a movie that in your brain was probably at theaters at some point, but it feels like it was just immediately put in Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Like, it's that kind of... It failed immediately, so it became direct-to-DVD or direct-to-video, but the production values were higher than you would expect for direct-to-video because it was a failed real movie.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw Steel. Or maybe I
did.
I don't remember that one.
At one point, Shaq has a grenade, and he has to free throw it out of a chain link fence.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. Now I'm intrigued. I need it to be worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sean Connery died.
Oh yeah. Well, Zardoz.
Go out and watch The Highlander tonight, everybody.
I was gonna say, go out and watch Zardoz. The gun is good. The penis is bad.
No, go watch The Rock.
Oh yeah, no, that's the
great.
correct one. That is the correct Sean Connery movie. You get your Connery, you get your K, you get a good Connery, and you get a good Nick Cage. Oh man, I'm trying to like find the quote.
Is it Winners Go and Fuck the Prom
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I was like, my brain was searching for. Oh man, The Rock rules. Oh, The Rock is so good. Zardoz.
I think The Rock and...
What were you saying, Nolan? Okay. We have problems, but that's fine. Interrupt. Yeah, like The Rock's great. Zardoz, also fucking incredible. You gotta be in that kind of 70s, like, mood if you're in for that kind of movie, but it's really, it's weird. I like it. They also did an episode about it on the hit series Rick and Morty. So if you want to know the reference of that one episode of Rick and Morty, you should watch Zardoz.
Watch Rick and Morty.
It's a very smart show about a science. It's a you know what? Rick and Morty is a great one season cartoon. So it's a pretty good it's like a one season Adult Swim cartoon. It's one of those
13 episodes, you're in and out.
Yeah, you're in, you're out. Gets done what needs to get done, and then you can just move on. You know how some of those are.
Yep, Mission Hill.
Well, Mission Hill.
Motor City.
Yeah, no, that's different. See, those were canceled
Ron
before their prime.
Uprising.
See, that's canceled before their prime. See, Rick and Morty, like, you're done in the 13 episodes. You're like, yeah, okay.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Man, Spectacular Spider-Man is cool.
They got canceled for Ultimate Spider-Man. Think about that. Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes got canceled for
that
Avengers
terrible
Assemble.
one. Earth's Mightiest Heroes was really good. I really liked Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Yep.
Had some cool stuff going on. I liked it when they went to Asgard and they're all doing like their own Avenger stuff and like the zones of it. Where like Hulk just beat up some trolls and became like their king. I'm like, yeah, that's great. Tony Stark just made an Iron Man suit out of like Mjolnir.
Yeah.
The
only problem I have with that show is the theme song was ass.
Oh, that theme song was terrible. It grew on me because the show was good enough where I'm like, yeah, like, it wasn't that the theme song, like, that theme song is bad, but every time I heard it, I'm like, oh boy, it's Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And not, oh man, this song's terrible.
God, it's just such butt rock.
Oh, yeah. But not good butt rock like Sonic the Hedgehog music.
Not like Sonic Underground.
That's good that's good bad. Oh, man. Is Sonic Underground the most deviant art of all the Sonics?
Yes.
See, I think it is mainly because
I think it would maybe be Sonic Riders.
I don't know, but because in Sonic Underground is the only one that explicitly has Sonic recolors as main characters.
Not like Shadow.
Well, okay, but what I mean is like, so Shadow is like the evil
Not
Sonic.
like Silver.
Yeah, but this is like Sonic's brother. Like, you could look at Manic or Sonia and be like, that's someone's deviant original character. I made a green Sonic.
Not like that alternate reality Sonic that was evil who painted himself green because it was cool.
Not like Evil Shadow.
Mephiles the Dark. Oh no. Okay. So maybe all of Sonic is bad.
There you go. Now you're figuring it out.
Maybe all of Sonic is bad. I still like it though.
Someone has to.
Yeah. I mean, listen. Mania was great. I like Sonic Mania. I liked all the songs in Sonic Mania. Still banging soundtrack. I would use that music if Twitch wouldn't DMCA me as just like background / away music. It was the like Studiopolis is pretty good, and then the desert one was like vaguely westerny. I like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't like the first part of it where you had like a weird boss fight on the plane. I never liked the Sonic 2 plane. Not a fan. Cause I always felt weird.
That's how I feel about like the planes in Sonic Adventure.
Yeah, it's just not as good, which is also baffling because Sega did Panzer Dragoon, which is a good shooter. Like they theoretically have the people that could make a good shooter level.
And Ace Combat.
No, Ace Combat isn't Sega. Ace Combat
Eh,
is Bandai Namco.
Sega did a like jet fighter.
I think they did Afterburner. Is that right? Afterburner. I'm looking it up. I have two computers now. I can look it up. I'm looking it up. Yeah, it is. That's Yu Suzuki. That's Sega. Yeah, they did Afterburner. Because I think that was one of the in Sonic All Stars Racing Transformed. I think like whenever you played the arcade cabinet, that was one of the things it turned into was the Afterburner plane. Also, like the Daytona USA car, and then a boat of some kind.
I don't like Sonic driving around in things that are slower than him.
Listen, Sonic Racing and Sega All Stars is fantastic. Transformed is okay, but the boat and the plane feel very slow and bad.
I only like the idea of Sonic driving because of a fan comic I saw where they said that Sonic feels as though it's a new challenge for him because if he's the fastest thing alive at running, then he better well be the fastest driver as well. Just to prove that, like, no, you can't even, like, even in cars, I'm number one. And I'm like,
I'm
that I
always the
accept.
fastest.
Yeah, I'm always the fastest. I'm like, you can't say, oh, I'm the fastest driver and Sonic is just the fastest runner. He goes, no, I have to be the fastest driver and runner, even if driving is slower. All category. Sonic is like Miriam from Hunter x Hunter, but with going quick. Now, I think, okay, so here's comic lore spoiler. This is one of the first drafts I made, and then I never got around to it. Where it was like panel one, and I'm not going to draw this comic. I think that's part of but it's a good comic. But so panel one is just two girls playing hopscotch, and then and one of them's like, "Man, Susie, you're the greatest hopscotch player in the world." And panel two is just Miriam standing there, being like, "I will defeat you," because that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
He had to defeat
proving.
everything, like any game. I just like that.
I have a comic idea that's just Magneto lazily magnetizing his phone to him, trying to check it, realizing it's broken, and then throwing it into the pile of other broken phones he's ruined.
That's pretty good. I was gonna say he like magnetizes his phone, and then the magnet's broken, and he just goes, "Fuck."
Yeah. Yep.
Keep doing this. I'm so close to being lazy. I can do it with like soda cans. It's really sick, but I can't do it with my phone.
Yep, and it's so easy to see. Just like, God damn it. Damn it, Charles.
I hate that, Charles. Okay.
Like, it's just Professor X sending him another text for him to check that just says, I bet you broke your phone again.
He hears that Discord chime, and he's just like, ah, fuck, someone sent me a message.
Womp. Damn it.
Got me again. Gonna have to rob a bank, rob the T-Mobile store, and get a new phone. Oh. It's just, God. We've talked about it, but I still love the characters of superheroes, even if, like, I don't like the things they're currently in.
That's why Venture Brothers is so good.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I watched. Not Venture Brothers. If anyone, we're now freeform. We're throwing this out. It's the new thing.
Oh, hold up.
Okay.
But before we get to there, can we retouch on your Spider-Man tier list from last week?
Okay. Yeah.
Since we're talking, I have issues. You said at the bottom of your tier list was The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and then The Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Yes.
Do you not see any problems with that?
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Amazing. No. What am I?
Spider-Man 3 is not below them.
Spider-Man 3 is better than The Amazing Spider-Man 2 because it has memes. Like,
I'm leaving.
listen, there are funny. I still go, so good. That makes me laugh. I put Spider-Man 3 above The Amazing Spider. Now, if you want to say Spider-Man 3 is below Amazing Spider-Man 1, I could argue that. But Amazing Spider-Man 2 is terrible. Spider-Man 3 is way better than Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I dare say better than Amazing Spider-Man 1. It's third from the bottom. You got that Sandman part that was okay. You know, that movie should have just been Sandman. It would have worked better. Venom part wasn't great. You had terrible Tobey Maguire dances, which has been memed. Like when that person put the scene of Avengers Endgame where Captain America gets the Thor hammer, but instead it's dancing Tobey Maguire getting the Thor hammer. Oh, that's great. I didn't like how Harry Osborn became the Green Goblin. I mean, that movie was already too much. And that was like one step too many. You had like Harry Osborn, not Green Goblin, maybe Hobgoblin. But you had like a jet hoverboard. Which reminded me of that one character in the animated series. Drew just left. Drew just left. I'm just going to keep talking. I'm going to keep talking about Spider-Man 3. What else about Spider-Man 3 is great? I think Venom kind of was a little bit underused in Spider-Man 3. It didn't work. It was for all like the Venom hubbub. They tried to shoehorn it in. Honestly, if you want to be real, that movie should have been like Black Suit Spider-Man versus Sandman, and at the end he rejects it. So then you could have had a Spider-Man 4 where it's Venom. I think that would have worked a little bit better. Anyway, that's enough of that. I do respect Drew for just bailing. So I'm just going to keep talking. Interrupt. I watched.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Drew left because I was talking about Spider-Man 3 too much. He couldn't take it.
Listen, as long as it's not about Amazing Spider-Man 2, I'm fine with it.
See, that's what I was saying. Like, my opinion is that Spider-Man 3 is better than Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh, nothing gets worse than that.
Yeah, like, that's... Like, even in Spider-Man 3, while bad, it has, like, parts I'm like, oh man, that makes me laugh. That's why it's superior to Amazing Spider-Man 2. There's an argument, is it better than Amazing Spider-Man 1? I could see that. I personally think it is, but that's both like the bottom of the barrel. It's like two crabs fighting for not last. But I watched a Wesley Snipes movie called Passenger 57, which is basically Wesley Snipes' Con Air, and it was pretty good. It's
what's the year for this?
Let me look it up real quick. All right, Passenger 57 came out in '92.
I think I've heard of this movie.
Con
I'm
Air
not sure,
came
man.
out in '97, so it does predate it. I think it was like Wesley Snipes' first movie, and his catchphrase when he was talking to like the terrorist was, "Do you ever play roulette?" And the terrorist guy was like, "Of course." And Wesley Snipes just goes, "Always bet on black," and then he hangs up the phone, and you're like, "Oh yeah." And then Wesley Snipes like spin kicks some dudes. It's pretty good. It was a good little movie. It's really short. It's under 90 minutes. But it's kind of like they get all they needed to get out of it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. It's very cheesy. Dangerously cheesy. But it's worth, if you're intrigued by Con Air and want to see something kind of vaguely similar, you could do worse than Passenger 57. I also watched at least the first episode of Burn the Witch, the new hit anime based on the new hit manga by Bleach creator Tite Kubo, whatever. And all Burn the Witch is Kubo saw two things he liked. And those two things are Little Witch Academia. He thought that was pretty cool. And then he saw Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. And he thought that was pretty cool. And he just kind of combined them. And it works. At least episode 1, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty good. It still gives me that Bleach feeling where like everything's cool and somewhat mysterious, and you know that that's gonna last for about 10 to 15 episodes before it goes off the rails and not very good anymore. But you know, you got an arc in there. You'll have a good arc. One of the dragons is just a tiny Pomeranian with dragon wings. It looks pretty funny. I like it. Because apparently dragons are illegal or whatever, unless you're like synced with them. Because otherwise, if you touch a dragon and you're not like attuned to it, the sentence is death for reasons.
Okay.
It's,
Well, the thing is, I was like, I have no.
yeah, but it's I don't like I've watched the first episode, but I haven't watched the rest of it. So it wasn't like God of High School where I watched all that thing. It's more like it seems okay. I might get back to it.
Hopefully, it'll end better than Bleach.
Yeah, or maybe because it's also what I will say, at least the animes, the production seems pretty good. It seems better than that Shonen Jump where it's kind of bad until a fight scene happens and it looks really good. It seems well done.
I've been missing out. I haven't been able to watch any new animes recently, but I got a bunch on like the backlog.
Oh yeah, I'm sort of the same way where every so often I'll be like, I'm sitting on the couch, I'm petting Stinky the cat. I'm like, I'm just gonna watch an anime or something. I did watch Mandalore's video of the hit video game The Mystery of the Druids. And which you've probably seen the picture of the cover art of Mystery of the Druids. Like, you know what it is. I'm gonna put it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it. I'm putting it in. I need the copy. Need to view this. There we go. There we go. I'm putting it in the chat because it's important. There we go. And it's a weird, janky adventure game. And some of the scenes in it are very funny. I don't know if it's even worth playing, but the Mandalore hour-long video describing the plot of The Mystery of the Druids is pretty funny. There's some stuff in there. I think the dinner scene is hilarious. Probably the funniest part of the thing. Second funniest part of the thing is escaping the castle. Those are my number 1 and number 2. There are some really interesting things that the game does, where adventure game like antics have consequences, and you wouldn't expect that to happen. And I was like, oh, that's neat. Or like you do your stupid adventure game puzzle, and then people remember that you did that and comment on it later. And it's like, oh, that was clever. It's things like, oh, you emptied out the urn of, you emptied out like that urn with the ashes in it to fill it with water, and then put the water on the pedestal to lower the gate. And someone's like, that was my grandma's ashes. What the hell are you doing? And you're like, oh. Because that usually doesn't happen. That's not what happened, but it's that kind of thing that adventure games usually just kind of ignore. Where it's like, here's a weird puzzle. Figure it out. But yeah, Mystery of the Druids is great. Thumbs up. There's just a lot of it's weird. Weird game. The weird box art is the least weird part of it, which I think is...
I feel bad because I have like a...
Oh, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, I just got a big backlog of stuff that's piled up.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Because right now I'm playing through Hades.
Is Hades as good as everyone says it is?
Fuck, it is so good. Like, well, as a person who enjoys roguelikes, it's probably the best one I've played in a long time.
That's interesting. Because, like, in my brain, at some point, I'm going to either stream Hades or Spelunky 2. Because I really like Spelunky 1. I've been craving some Spelunky. But Hades is also good. But really, my free time has been consumed with Final Fantasy 14. I've been playing that a lot. That game's pretty cool. Also, I like Final Fantasy way more than I thought I did. What else? What else has been going on? I need to fill at least 10 more minutes. You know, we're at like 40 minutes. We can do that. Oh, I've been watching one of my internet pals stream Final Fantasy VII Original. And Final Fantasy VII Original is a weird game. It is tonally all over the place. And I kind of forget that rewatching it. Like, there's stuff I'm like, man, that remake part 2 is gonna be wild. You're gonna have like the scene where Cloud has to get on top of the dolphin and then it jumps him up the skyscraper. Or the Fort Condor tower defense minigame. Or the scene where Barrett's arc is resolved under Golden Saucer. And then it's just done. I don't know, maybe we'll be able to save Dyne this time. Who knows? Who knows? It is a mystery.
I don't know, as a person who's not a big fan of Final Fantasy VII,
yeah, it's no one's probably talking to someone. It's cool. Yeah, but I can get that. I think it's, at least with a lot of the Final Fantasies, like, I like 7, but it's not my favorite. I honestly like bits story-wise. I think I like 8 better than 7, even though 8 is a way worse game than 7. In some ways, it's a worse story. But there are parts of 8 I think are way more interesting than 7. Also, I think 8 is a bit more focused. 7's kind of out there. And you can see there's there's a lot of parts in it where the game is, you can tell it's early 3D and they didn't quite know what to do, because some of those monster designs are just weird and stupid. like Hell House is known, but there's also the one that's like a Triceratops, but the bottom half of it is just a steamroller. And you're like, okay, that's an enemy. And you can tell they were like, oh, here's some kind of ghoul. And then here's just a spinning mask. And here's just, you can tell they were reaching for monster design. And it's just kind of weird. There's some weird stuff in that game.
I feel like that's.
Yeah. It's just... Oh, man. Final Fantasy 7.
Surprisingly, it's still going. I'm amazed.
That's the weird part about Final Fantasy 7, is that was the one that kept continuing on, because it felt like it feels so kind of slapdash that every Final Fantasy VII side story, like Advent Children and
Dirge of
Cerberus and Crisis Core, they don't feel like they exist in the world of Final Fantasy VII at all. Except like, yeah, there's a couple characters that are there, but that's not Final Fantasy VII. Dirge of Cerberus, nothing in there is like, oh man, that's really Final Fantasy. It's more like, this is just another thing that you put like 4 characters in, and then they're like, But like, people like it, because that was the popular one. There are some cool bits in Final Fantasy VII. I'm just saying, not the one I would have said this is the one we're gonna leap off of. They tried to do that with 13. 13 sort of worked. Like 13-2 and Lightning Returns, way better than 13. They just unfortunately have the cast of Final Fantasy 13. Cast is very bad. 13-2 probably, I legitimately like 13-2, and I'm gonna sneeze. And Lightning Returns. Lightning Returns is the only one where Lightning makes sense, because she's supposed to be an unfeeling Valkyrie with no emotions. Because that game is just a Valkyrie profile game, but they put some Final Fantasy characters in there. And you're playing it and you're like, yeah, this makes sense for Lightning to be like, I have no personality. I am just Lightning. And you're like, yeah.
I think I literally love every other character that isn't Lightning.
Oh man, like, that's what 13. So 13-2, even though I think the best friend did a thing of it where they were like ripping on it, because it is kind of lame at the start, or initially. But that game, Final Fantasy 13-2 is secretly Chrono Trigger 2, because the whole plot of that game is you're doing time travel shenanigans to try to both save Lightning and save your main character from dying. Like her sister Sarah or whatever is like, I have to not die, and the only way we're gonna do it is time shenanigans. And you do all these time shenanigans, and you meet like with.
I don't think there's. I don't. This is just something with from 13.1. I don't think there's anything stupider than the Lassie, and what's the other one?
The Fal'Cie.
Oh, I don't care. It's so stupid.
It's such a stupid bargain, because the Lassie give you a task for you to do, and then they brand you. And if you fail, you turn into a monster. And if you succeed, you turn into a crystal. And it's like, but there's no win there. I know I feel like that's like, oh, that's the point, you know, there's no win. But it just kind of, it came off as, yeah, you're just kind of fucked. You're just like, you're kind of completely screwed. But it made a bit more sense in Final Fantasy 13-2. What was really cool is that the bad guy in Final Fantasy 13-2 was messing up the timelines and stuff, and then you find out that his motivation is exactly the same as yours, where he's trying to save his loved one, and he's doing so by like messing with time. So you and the bad guy are doing the exact same thing, just from like opposite angles. Because in that game, there are several points where you make a doomed timeline just to get like a quest item. And like specifically, there's one where like you go to like a research facility and they're trying to make a like a key, like a serum or something. So what you do is you go to the ruined future where like the computer finished rendering it, but everyone died. And then you take that and then you bring it back to the present and you go, here you go. You just give it to them. But doing so made like one of the timelines unstable because the one where you took the thing now doesn't exist and you created a paradox. And it's like, that's going to cause a problem later, but not our problem. And then you just time travel away. And it's like, oh, that's what the bad guy was doing too. Except yours was the timeline where problems were happening. And I was like, that's interesting. And then lightning shows up and you're like, oh, it's not so interesting. But then in the sequel, where the main character of 13-2, Sarah, became evil at the end, and you're like, yeah, okay. And then she's evil and lightning returns. It's great. Final Fantasy 13 sucks, though. Don't play that one. You can ignore that one. Except Zaz. Zaz was cool. I like Zaz. He was just trying to help his son.
He just wants.
Yeah, his son. His son was chosen by the l'Cie, did his task, and became a crystal. And Zaz is like, that sucks. That really sucks.
Also, he has like the coolest transformation too.
Yeah. He had Ifrit, right? It wasn't Snow's two naked lady motorcycle. Man, Snow sucks, and that's kind of why Snow's great. I like Snow. Because he just sucks hard the entire thing. Like, you think, like, because his intro is him on, like, the cool naked lady motorcycle, and like, man, this guy's gonna be cool. And then he just eats shit constantly, and everyone's like, man, you suck. And he's like, come on.
Yeah. Golly.
Fang and Vanille were great. I like those two. I liked,
Yeah.
I did not like Hope. Hope sucked. Hope, I think, is
Hope
worse.
is the worst.
Hope is worse than Lightning. Because Hope's motivation is, I miss my mommy. Like, the entire time. It's just like, come on, man. Like, I would get it if you're like, I miss my mommy at like hour 2 of the game. But then we're like an hour 50. Like, you've had some time. You've had some time to process it. You've done Final Fantasy shit. Step it up. Step it up, child. You're not even like a real child. You're like a teenager child. You should just step it up. You've had boss battles. I think that's like if you
You've actively murdered people. Come on.
Yeah, like if you have like fantasy or adventure or comic whatever trial, and you're kind of sad but kind of weenie, but if you've had upwards of 3 to 4 boss battles, I think you should change a little bit. Like, I don't know, I just feel so useless. You helped kill, like, the behemoth. You're fine. You fought monsters, a lot of them. You're good now. You might have some Gone Hunter x Hunter problems. Now that's different. If you're,
Oh,
like, you might be going like, well, I guess it's time to be evil. Now that I understand. Don't have qualms with that. But being like crybaby times, not a fan of that. Like, after a couple monster kills, you should be all right. So yeah, I've been watching that Final Fantasy.
is there any other like news that you missed that you?
Oh, I did want to talk about, just to second it, about Plague of Gripes made his video / Twitter talking about how his Twitch account got messed up because he didn't have two-factor on it. And then he did a thing where he was going, make sure you check all your stuff that two-factor was on everything, because you might have not done it on something and thought that you did. And yeah, that was the same for me, because there was like 2 of my accounts that did not have two-factor on, and I was like, oh, and I had to turn that on. So I will second that PSA. Check your accounts to make sure two-factor is on them. At least the important ones.
Okay.
And that made me think about the time way long ago, many years in the past, when my OkCupid, I don't know if I've talked about this on the podcast, but my OkCupid, like way back in the day, account got hacked. And they changed my profile picture and the stuff in the About Me. And were trying to catfish people. But they were still, like, they turned my, like someone hacked my OkCupid, changed my, like, profile picture to, like, a generic stock photo handsome man, changed all my background information to, like, I love exercise and going for walks and whatever. And I was like, and then they were sending people messages, and it just confused me, because why did they hack my account to do it? Like, they could have made a fake account.
They just looked at it and said, this guy doesn't need it.
Yeah,
good.
that's the bizarre. Like, it's not hard to set up an OkCupid, like, free account and do that. And my account was not paid for. Like, I didn't pay or anything. But it's like someone looked at my account and goes, we're going to hack into it. And, like, this guy needs our help. Like, the Russian hacker man was like, this man is so sad, I'm going to fix it for him. I'm going to make his profile different, and we're going to use all our catfish scamming, and we're going to help him. And that's my only assumption.
I like the idea of catfish bro.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to help you out, because you don't know how to do this at all. It's like, thank you. Thank you, Russian hacker man. It's like, thanks for your assistance. That was the most bizarre thing that I've ever had an account compromised. It was that one. Because to me, it did not make sense. Like, there was nothing to be gained there. Like, I get it, because I've also had I had my Reddit account. That one was compromised. And that was terrible, because the person compromised my account and then just started posting pornography constantly. And I didn't understand that one. They were just like, I'm going to go to every, like I logged into my Reddit account and it was like, you are banned from adult personals Reddit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I had to alter that. And then I had to do the most shameful thing I've ever done, which was had to send a message to the moderator of adult, like, personals or whatever, saying, I'm sorry my account was hacked. I don't want to use your Reddit, but sorry about that. And they're like, it's cool, it happens. We get that every so often. I'm like, okay, have a good day. Yeah, so I'm saying it, even though my audience probably watches / listens to Plague of Gripes things. But check your 2-factor on your important stuff. Make sure it's on there. Anything that's connected to money, just make sure 2-factor's on. That's really all you need. That's my big advice. If money has gone into it, or it can turn into money, put 2-factor on it. That's my pro tip. And that's about it. You have any final thoughts, Nolan?
No, not really.
My final thought is Spider-Man 3. There's some good parts of Spider-Man 3. Don't be like a Drew.
Nah.
You gotta embrace Tobey Maguire dancing down the sidewalk. It's great.
God damn. That's a pure meme.
It's great. It's great and I love it. It's legitimately, well, not legitimately good, but it's that kind of, it's, to quote Spider-Man 3, it's so good. Eating the pie.
It's him dancing and it's him in the jazz club.
Oh, yeah, it's so incredible. And it's that stupid where he's eating the pie and he goes, so good. And then like the car goes away and he's just gone. Like, I love it. Fucking love that shit. Because I have your pie. It's so good. Love that shit. Love that shit. Spider-Man 3. Talking about it, moving it up on my tier list. But no, it's still at the bottom.
Oh, I wanted to ask, where'd you put the?
Which one you cut out?
Far From Home and Homecoming.
I think I put Home. So I think my Spider-Man movie tier list. Thinking about it, number 1 was Spider-Verse, then Spider-Man 2, Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man, Homecoming, Far From Home, Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 1, and at the bottom, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Because I like Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1 and 2 a bit better than Homecoming and Far From Home. Most of that's nostalgia, I'm not going to lie. Like, it's nostalgia, and I like Sam Raimi's weirdness. So I'm going to put those up there. But that's my tier list. There is a power gap, I would say, between Far From Home and Spider-Man 3. Like, those are not close together. They're close together on the list just because that's how the numbers go. But, like, grading-wise, there would be, like, if you go from, like, a C+ to, like, an D-. You're like, there's a gulf there. But, yeah.
And then Amazing Spider-Man 2 is down there at the F.
That's F-. I don't think I honestly think I didn't. That was one movie where I didn't watch all of it. Like, it was one of the movies where, like, I think I watched it on, like, it was on Netflix or streaming, and I just turned it off. And to me, that is my most damning indictment of any film, is when I just get bored and turn it off. It's not even...
I got to the part where Jamie Foxx was in Times Square, and that was it.
That's about where I bailed. Where he was blue, and I'm just like, this isn't good. I would be better served taking a nap. And I just turned like, that is my most damning for a movie. It's why I give Spider-Man 3 more props, because I watched all of it. And I laugh at parts of it. I still think that montage of Peter Parker dancing with Thor's hammer fighting Thanos is incredible. Well done, video editor. And that now we're at an hour, so I can cut it. Later days, bye.
Bye.
Send a tweet to @DrewOrFalse telling him how much you love Spider-Man 3. He'll love it. Bye.